welcome back to my channel. For those of y'all that are new, my name is Elizabeth. I am a food and wellness blogger over on Hello Spoonful, but on YouTube primarily I share motherhood content. I have a 4-month-old, his name is Isaiah, and today I wanted to share 17 tips, tricks, and hacks for first-time moms. Okay, the first hack I think is the coolest one of all, and that is breastfed baby poop stains come out with just water and sunshine. So as soon as Isaiah has a blowout, which is quite frequently, I don't know, this little man poops after every feeding, I will just rinse it with water and then lay it out in the sun. Once the poop stain has come out, I'll throw it in the laundry with all the rest of the clothes and just clean it as normal. My second tip is also for breastfeeding mamas, and that is if you pump, you can put your pump parts in a Ziploc bag in the fridge, and they are good to stay in there for 24 hours, which means you do not have to clean them between every use. So Michael gives Isaiah a bottle at the end of the night typically, and so I will pump for that 7 p.m. feed, and then sometimes in the morning if I wake up engorged around like 6 a.m. I will pump a little off. So it's just really nice that at the end of the day I can just put them in the fridge and in the morning pull them out and use them, and then clean them whenever I have time in the day before that next 7 p.m. feeding. Another hack for first-time moms has to do with clogged milk ducts, which are just lovely. I've had 3 of them because I have an oversupply. But a really cool hack is to fill a diaper with water and microwave it for 10 to 30 seconds, and it gets really hot and it will hold the heat. Put it on your clogged duct and voila. Massaging them and putting heat on them, that's what will help release the clogged duct. But obviously a diaper is a lot less messy than dipping a rag in warm water constantly and just having it drip all over you. So I think it's like the coolest hack ever. Put hot water in the diaper and do it, or put water and then microwave it. Another tip for first-time moms is to size up in diapers for overnight sleeps. So they do not make overnight diapers in size 2, which is what Isaiah is, and he gives us a pretty long stretch, which I don't wake him up to change his diaper. I don't really see the point in that, so we just size up to size 3, and they work great. If we kept him in size 2, there's a good chance that he would leak. We hadn't had that issue yet, but it was just so full. He would wake up to feed at like 3 or 4 a.m., and I was like, this just can't be comfortable, but I also don't want to wake you up at like 1 a.m. just to change your diaper. So we sized up and we use 3s, and it's great because even if you don't use them all for nights, you're eventually going to use the size 3, so it's kind of a win-win. Tip number 5 is the heating pad trick. So poor Michael does bath time, which suddenly flipped from being this amazing thing to randomly having days where Isaiah is just screaming, but he's usually screaming when he gets out of the tub, and I really don't blame him because think of when you get out of a nice warm bath into the freezing cold air, it's not enjoyable. So put a heating pad wherever you change them. So if you want to warm up their changing pad, I just think it's great to have so that you make that transfer as seamless as possible from taking him out of the warm bath into the cold air to change. Tip number 6 is to not buy everything, but to buy 2 of everything you love, or I guess I should say at least 2 of everything you love. Basically whatever you love, buy a lot of them. Isaiah loves his Merlin sleep suit, and it's really great to have 2 in case spit up or poop gets all over one, and then you just automatically have a backup. Or if we got more of them, we might want to keep one at Michael's parents' house. Like if you were to sleep there, it's just already there and you don't have to worry about it. It's just less moving pieces and you have things where you need them. Or if you really like your crib sheets, I guess this is a tip within a tip, but you can layer them, so double, and as soon as he spits up, just take one of the crib sheets off and you already have some under there. But definitely buy doubles, at least doubles of everything that you love. Tip number 7 is if you are using bottles or pacifiers, to buy a combo pack. So if you are going to be offering bottles, babies do not like every single bottle. It can take a while to find the one that they are going to take, but it's really smart to just buy a combo pack so you're not wasting money and buying, you know, tons and tons of bottles that they aren't going to use, and you can quickly find the one that they like. We did this for his pacifiers. We bought the bundle from Tommy Tippy, and the only pacifier Isaiah will kind of take is the ultralight, and because it came in a pack of 4, it was the only one from Tommy Tippy that he liked. It's the only one he takes in general, so now we know to only buy those. Tip number 8 is going to be the magic burp. I don't know if you've seen this YouTube video. If you're not, you need to Google it because it's amazing. It is How I Burp Isaiah and it works wonders. He has reflux, so he spits up a lot. So I already don't really like patting him a ton because I don't want to jostle him and make him spit up more. But the magic burp is basically, I'll use one hand under his chin to hold him up, and also it can kind of cover his chest. I mean, he's so little that this part can go on his chest and then hold his chin, and then I just press his back to straighten his spine as much as possible and just hold it there so he is just completely upright, and I hold him for like 20 seconds maybe, and then a burp comes out. It's so much better than patting him on the back. And if I did not explain that well, just Google it because the YouTube video will come up and it's awesome. Tip number 9 is also related to gas, and that is going to be to skip bicycle kicks and just straight up push your baby's legs back to their face. I mean, I started doing this with Isaiah since he was tiny because like I said, he has really bad gas. It's super sad. Combined with his reflux, I just know he's uncomfortable a lot of the time. But a tip or a hack I guess I learned is that instead of just doing the bicycles, literally I just take his feet and we'll push them straight up to his face, hold it there, and he'll let it out. It's kind of funny because we started doing this so young that now he just associates when I do that to push. So he's gotten to the point where like as soon as I push his legs up, you can see like his face will turn red and he starts to push, and it works wonders because he'll either pass gas or have a bowel movement. And I can't help but think it's because we started it so young that now he just understands what to do when his legs go up like that. Tip number 10 is to take off their onesie from the top down, which I just learned like a month ago. So maybe everyone else already knows this, but I did not. But especially when he has a blowout, I mean, you just pull it down. That way you're not risking getting poop all over their head and face and whatever their body. So you can do this whether it's a blowout or not. And you can also put them on from the feet up, which I don't really do that, but Isaiah doesn't really get too fussy when we change him. But definitely if he has a blowout, we're taking it off from the top down. Tip number 11 has to do with night feed, and that is to get a nightlight, or we have the Hatch sound machine that has like a nightlight basically attached to it, which is amazing because you don't want to wake them up like at all when they're doing night feed. The more awake they get, the harder they are to get back down, and Isaiah thankfully doesn't have a hard time at all going back to sleep after night feeds, but we just keep it as dark as possible, keep the white noise going. I will feed him, change him, burp him, all with our Hatch sound machine at like 20% brightness. By the time I put him down and walk back to our bedroom, he's usually like 9 out of the 10 times he's already asleep. Tip number 12 is to don't worry about buying a baby laundry detergent and to just go ahead and use unscented for all of your laundry. We just have a organic unscented laundry that we use, and also the way I dry them is I don't use a lot of heat when I dry them, just to make sure I don't shrink any of his clothes because they grow out of them so crazy fast. But it's just better than buying baby detergent. Tip number 13 is that white noise is your new BFF. I have a portable white noise machine, and then we have the Hatch that has white noise and other different sounds, but he just loves the white noise. So buy multiple. I need to buy another portable as I'm thinking about it, because I just need one that I leave in my car for car rides, because it just cues him, hey, it's time for nap, we're gonna go to sleep now, and he loves it. It just blocks everything out. Honestly, if I want to wake him up from a nap, because I don't let him nap over 2 hours, I'll just turn off his white noise, and he usually just kind of wakes up on his own. Tip number 14 is to make sure you are tracking feedings, wake windows, and naps. Might sound like common sense, but really there is such a sweet spot from a wake window to when it is nap time, when he should be in his crib starting to fall asleep. And it's like, if you miss that, they can get overtired and super cranky. So his wake windows have stretched out. They used to be really short when he was little. Now he's 4 months old. They're about 2 hours. So normally when he wakes up is when I nurse him. And so I can kind of look back on my app. I use Baby Tracker, and I can just see, okay, it's been close to 2 hours. I need to start, you know, putting him in his sleep suit, turn on the white noise, turn off the lights, and bring him in his room. And I put him down awake, and then he puts himself to sleep. But if I miss that and he's like already fussy tired, it's a lot harder to get him down. So I would download an app. I know there's one called Huckleberry as well, but I just use Baby Tracker and it's free and you can track everything in there. Tip number 15 is that it is never too early to start a bedtime routine. I think we started a bedtime routine when Isaiah was like 2 weeks old. And by that, I basically just mean we started bath time, because there's not that much different we do for bedtime versus nap time. The only thing really is that Michael gets home, gives him a bath, and then now he started to do a bottle, but before he would just hand him off to me and I would nurse him, put him in his sleep suit and put him to bed with his white noise. But it really just cues like, hey, this is how we're gonna distinct a nap from bedtime. My next tip is also to do with routines, and that is about daytime routines, and just in general that routines are good for babies. They are good for mom, they are good for anyone that's taking care of your baby. I recently started getting some help with Isaiah so that I could get back into work, and it's just so nice knowing his rough schedule to be able to tell her, so she's not going in blindly like, why is he fussy? It's obvious, oh, he's been up for X amount of time, so he's probably getting tired. But even like having a morning routine with him, because I spend the mornings with him, he knows that I take him out of his crib, I feed him, and then we're gonna just like hang out for a little. We go downstairs, I have my coffee, he plays on his playmat. It's kind of like the same cycle all day, and it might sound boring, but it's just good for he and I to know the routine of the day. And my last tip is a simple one, and that is to get outside with your baby. Sometimes all they need is fresh air. If they are fussy, it does wonders if you just step outdoors. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think as adults, we need that too. So it makes sense, but especially towards the end of the day, he starts getting really fussy because he's super tired and getting ready for bedtime. Such a simple tip, but I just can't stress it enough to just, if your baby is fussy, to take them outside. And that is it for today's video. I hope that you found these 17 tips helpful. I know there were a lot of them, so if you made it to the end, thank you so much. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you never miss another video. And until next time, I will see you next time.